What if money just fell from the sky? That would be nice, wouldn't it? We'd not have to worry about much, unless that money was poisoned, maybe with acid. That would be scary. What if everything you need, like shelter, or even things you want, like cars or toys, is just laying around on Earth for you to take? That would be awesome. Lucky for us, something that does cost money and is the very reason we're alive does just fall from the sky. Rain is nature's way of cycling the water system. The water on Earth is rebirthed back into the atmosphere via evaporation and transpiration. As the sun's radiation warms up the plants, the water traveling through the plants is partially released back into the atmosphere. The heat from the sun also turns surface water back into a gas form, causing it to rise into the atmosphere. This is the Earth's natural distillation process to purify water. Many people pay quite a lot of money for distillation machines to purify water. This would seem silly to pay for something that happens naturally, right? Well, there's just one problem. The rainwater that falls back to the surface of the Earth is not just captured from the sky and piped back to the people at home. The water is usually collected from a local or natural man-made water body. Once the water hits the Earth and is directed into these water collection areas, the water begins to pick up contaminants from everything it comes into contact with. Things like chemical pollution, animal excrement, microbial parasites, pharmaceuticals, and viral pathogens. Now, once this water has been captured by a water management authority, it needs to be treated before it can be safely returned to the consumer. In order to make the water safe, with respect to the Environmental Protection Agency's levels of standards, different elements like chlorine and fluorine are added to the water in small amounts to make it safe, potable water. That means you can brush your teeth with it or make your macaroni and cheese. So now you have an idea of what the state of the water is that comes out of your faucet. This water is safe for consumption from what the respected scientists at the government has put in place to protect its citizens. Yet, there is an analogous contrast to this fact. The miner's canary is a small bird that is kept in a cage where miners work to determine if the air is safe to breathe. If the bird dies or begins to act erratically, the miners will know that the air is not safe and take immediate precautions to protect themselves. In contrast, if you were to put any fish in tap water designed for consumption, it would soon die from the contaminants in the water. This fact itself should raise some questions about the contaminants that are in the water that you will shower and brush your teeth with tomorrow morning. We're not all fish, and we do not breathe water, right? That's true, but remember how nature's distillation process works. The molecular bond of H2O is not broken when it's heated and changed into a gas. We do breathe what's in the atmosphere. Fluoride compounds are added to the water supply to kill bacteria to keep your teeth nice and sparkling clean. It's like getting free dental medicine. Fluorine is in the family of halogens on the periodic table. When any halogen bonds with hydrogen, it forms an acid. According to the Center for Disease Control, a distillation system is the best way to remove fluoride compounds from your water if you don't want fluoride. The CDC also publishes chemical safety cards on their website about the dangers of raw fluoride compounds. There are a lot of concerns about health issues that have risen since the introduction of fluoride in water systems, and many communities have opted to remove it from their water supply. Phosphorus is another element of contamination that is primarily coming from agricultural runoff. Phosphorus is the middle number on a bag of fertilizer that you would buy from the gardening store. The biggest problem with phosphorus is that it runs off into streams and lakes where algae feast on it. The algae blooms on these water bodies cause low oxygen levels in the water. Fish and other water fauna begin to die off, which cause more biological pollution. According to the CDC, phosphorus by itself is a very volatile, systemic agent. Mercury is another element that is used in manufacturing and consumer products. Many mercury-laced products are disposed of improperly, and the mercury ends up leaching into the water supply. The single largest contributor to mercury contamination is coal combustion power plants. There are still a lot of coal power plants in the US, and there are much more in Europe. The Environmental Protection Agency sets a standard of 0.002 milligrams per liter or parts per million of mercury that is allowed in a drinking water supply. Finally, we have biological contaminants. Biological contaminants are living organisms like bacteria and viruses. These are the organisms the CDC is trying to protect you from. Water is primarily treated with chlorine to kill contaminants such as these, but sometimes the water systems get contaminated and the water district must issue a boil water notice. Lucky for us, there are nanometer filtration systems that can be purchased to remove biological contamination from the water we receive. Even better, these organisms don't thrive in the upper troposphere from where the rain falls. Now you have an understanding of what the problems a central water system has with contaminants. The amount of money spent on government agencies, chemicals, and infrastructure collectively is clearly in the billions of dollars, if not more. So what if money just fell from the sky? Or what if the most important thing in the world just fell from the sky?